What's up, guys? Welcome back to the One Realm. Today we're going to be talking about the January 17th events, I guess you could say, because one's in London, one's in Los Angeles. Of course, I'm here with Thomas. I'm going to go ahead and talk
What's up,
about
guys?
all the great things that allegedly is coming to us on these events. Ed Boon has teased that there's going to be some gameplay reveals, story reveals, which was pretty interesting, and some character reveals, which we all expected. So, right away, Thomas, what are you looking forward to the most?
Uh, we say this every time. Roster and stories are our two biggest things. So I'd say roster.
Okay. So if you had to choose one thing that you're most excited for, it's characters.
Yeah.
Okay, same here. Same here. No doubt about that.
But just because the story mode can hit or miss me anytime. I'm gonna play regardless. Doesn't matter. But what gives the game life is the roster for me.
Yeah, same here. As long as they can nail at least, I would say 80% of the roster that I want, then, I'll pretty much be playing for at least a long time. So,
I just need
yeah, if you
I
had to
just need
pick,
five characters.
exactly, if you had to pick five characters that they haven't announced yet, of course, in case some of their five. I'm sure Sub Zero's up there for you too. If I'm not mistaken, you said that quite a few times.
Yeah.
You prefer him over Noob Saibot, which is a pretty well known thing. If you had to choose five characters that you want to see announced at this event, who would they be?
Katana. I'm gonna throw that out there right now. Katana.
Shocker, didn't see that one coming.
Like, I'm not gonna do a top five. I'm just gonna be right up front. Like that is my. I know I told you this. I said this before, but Katana and Black Canary was my dark horses for the past two games.
Okay.
I go through a long cycle of not wanting to play. Like I want to play because it's more combat or injustice, but also like, but who am I gonna main? Who am I gonna really try to main at least? And when I've said the story before, but like when I was going through internet and he said Ed Boon pretty much leaked out that he was going to release Kong Lao. I'm like, oh, there's two characters. Like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to watch it because it's more comeback. But I remember going to the thumbnail the next morning, waiting at 8 in the morning. And I'm in high school too by this point, but I'm at my friend's house and it's like, holy shit, it's out. And I'm like, holy shit, that's Katana. And it's just like, I watched that like five times back to back to back before we even got to the bus stop.
So it's pretty safe to say that Katana being in the game is almost going to be a selling point for you.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm
Okay.
going to play it regardless, but
Yeah.
how long I played. 'Cause I love the voice actress. I love the character in general. And even though I didn't play her as good in MKX, she's still one of my people I like to main when I can pick up any sticks.
Mm.
And that would be from MK2 to Gold, UMK3, Deadly Alliance, Armageddon, 9. And I tried to do it in X, I couldn't pick it up, so I was like, screw it. I had Millennium. I was at least giving a million, and so I was like, okay.
Yeah, I had a lot of hard times as well playing as Katana in that game. I don't know if maybe she was just a more difficult character to use, but Melina's she was so quick, and same thing with MK9. Her speed and
Well,
all that just made her so fun to play and pretty easy to pick up and use, to be honest. Whereas Katana was kind of slower and a lot more difficult for me.
well, that's the thing too. I went to my cousin's house a couple of days ago, and we're playing the tag towers on MK9 because you like two people can play. You can go to two players and both be playing doing a tower, do one tower together. And I kept flipping through characters just to try to get a hand on, but the people I did good best with was Melina Katana. Here's the issue: Melina can teleport, and I need a character that can get me in and get me out. So I suck with Melina's combos, but I can teleport and use special moves like a motherfucker with her. With Katana, I can do combos and strings, but her power doesn't get me out there fast enough. At least not that I'm familiar with.
Okay.
Because Alina's thing is simple. Well, at least the kick from above, she teleports is like 4-4A, 4-4B, or down A. And that's been from the past 3 games she was in, from Deadly Alliance, not Deadly Alliance, Armor, from Deception all the way up to MKX. Those have been her past ways to teleport. Like, oh, that's easy. Katana, I'm like saying, how can I get out of these situations without getting hit or stuck?
Yeah, she's definitely a much more difficult character to use. I'm not going to say she's not fun to use, but I've always, really in all the games, now that I think about it, even, from MK2 forward, I've never really been able to pick her up and really use her effectively. She's always been one of those characters I'm sure she's good. I like her story, but from a gameplay perspective, she just doesn't really fit the way I play. Whereas Melina is a lot more, I don't know. She's fast paced. She just feels great to play as in pretty much all the games. She's always one of the quicker ones. So I think this is, you're not gonna like this, but I've always preferred Melina over Katana, except for the looks, I guess you could say. I'm not a big fan of the whole teeth issue, but
no, I agree with that. Gameplay wise, I can pick up Melina easy. I can get out of there whenever I need to, whenever I fuck up something. But I can pick up Melina anytime easy. Just Katana is that character I want to get to main because she is one of my favorite characters, or is my favorite character.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Definitely. Is there any other character in particular that you're excited about seeing, or that you really hope is going to be in there? Or is it pretty much just Katana that you're looking for?
no, because just say 5 characters. So taking out Sub-Zero since he's confirmed already, and I mean, wasn't a big shocker there.
Yeah, no
But
surprise.
other than Best Buy leaking this, it's more comebacks. He's gonna be in there regardless. He's literally been in, every game, behind or not. It's been always Sub-Zero's been in every game. Unlike Scorpion, who was in MK3 at first, and they had to put him in because they fucked up. But no, with Sub-Zero been in every game, Scorpion was not in every game. But if I pick 4 more characters, it'll be Sub-Zero, just because, I mean, it's a given, but I always like his costumes. Especially that Revenue one from MKX, I love that one. But Sub-Zero, Reiko, that would be completely out of left field, but that's me right there. I want Reiko to have a voice. Give Reiko a chance.
Give that motherfucker the opportunity that he needs, because he has the potential. If they would just realize he has the damn potential, then he could potentially be one of the most badass characters in the entire roster if they just make him the way he needs to be made.
But Reiko, Sub-Zero, Jade, and I'm at the flip a coin actually, so I can. Well, because I said 5, I should have said 6. I can pick 3 girls and 3 boys, but I'm at flip a coin, so I'll say boy or girl next one. Okay. Heads for a guy, tails for a girl. Oh, wow, I flipped it. Anyway. Heads, so Fujin.
Okay. That's acceptable. That's a pretty
Fujin
solid
over
list.
Ring. Okay, so I'm just going to say, and just for a little extra bonus, I'm not going to say girl anyway, Fujin or any of the Indian kids.
Okay.
So Rain, Taven, or Dagon.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. That's a decent list there. Mine is kind of in the same light. I actually had a short list of about 10, but I'm gonna try to take out a few of them because it was pretty difficult for me. But I think I have a pretty decent list. Of course, I want Noob Saibot, but let's just go ahead and not put in Sub-Zero because he's already technically guaranteed to be in there. So let's go ahead and not count him like you said. I'm gonna go with Noob Saibot. I think this is gonna be a big game for him if they do things correctly. I definitely want to see Fujin. Definitely want to see Reiko, as you said. Shang Tsung as well. And I'm going to go ahead and say Havoc, to be honest. It was between Dagon and Havoc for me. Just because I think that if they do put in Dagon, then they could technically go and have some kind of weird tie into Armageddon and possibly retcon the retcon that'll retcon the retcon, if you know what I mean. So they can technically fix everything if they do everything right, but I don't think they're going to be able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put in Havoc just because I think he's a bit easier. And just in general, I like the way he looks. He's a very unique character. And I think, like you said, have a character in there that's going to be out of left field. I think Havoc and Reiko both fit the bill. So
yeah, especially they both die in the comics, but
yeah, that is true. But is it canon? Is what happened
yeah,
in the comics canon?
we'll see.
And also, let's not forget, this is Mortal Kombat. So even if you're dead,
Fair enough.
like Shao Kahn's dead, but he might not be in the story, but he's coming back on the roster. So I mean,
Fair enough. That's true.
yeah,
So
you're never really dead.
the comics proving anything. Comics proving anything. It means not shit. Shit doesn't matter.
Exactly. It literally means nothing.
And I say that with the fact that we watched Goro gets his arm ripped off, all 4 arms get ripped off, and he has his arm. No explains that either. But my biggest issue, the thing is, everyone was saying, "Oh shit, what if Goro gets cybernetic arms? That'd be a badass variation." We got a hybrid between Kentaro, Shiva, and Goro, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But,
mean, literally anything can happen in Mortal Kombat, and realistically, if you have a big enough fan base, if there's enough demand for you to be on a roster, then unless your name is Rain, then eventually you're gonna be on there. So I mean, look at Tremor, dude. Who the fuck cared about Tremor? And then all of a sudden, this guy makes it as DLC. So I mean,
Everyone saw him on the PS Vita, I guess,
yeah,
and that's when I'm like, "Oh shit, who the fuck is Tremor?" I never played MK Special Forces because my parents love me enough not to shame me like that.
let's not forget, as the great Total MK says, Tremo is a shit cunt. So let's just say that before people saw him in the PS Vita, he didn't exactly have he wasn't very appreciated. So the fact that he managed to go from being one of the great shit characters from a shit game like Special Forces to being on the PS Vita, I'm assuming as a joke, to actually managing to make it on a DLC, make it into the DLC slot in Mortal Kombat X, that just kind of shows you that literally, it does not matter who you are, what character you are. It does not matter. It does not matter. You can be in the game as long as the right, right situation, right scenario comes across.
Yeah. Well, you look at it from a money aspect too, because think about it, we have no petitions this year for this game cycle. Well, then again, there was never enough time to make a petition for shit like this. Like, the game literally came out and it's like, "Oh well, so much for your petitions, guys. We're just gonna go. We know what you're doing already." Like, okay, bet. And I'll be okay with Reiko just as a DLC. I just want to have a voice and dialogues.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like at this point, to be honest with you, for Reiko, I wouldn't even be mad, like you said, if he was DLC, as long as he at least has some kind of a role in the story. Like maybe he makes a cameo here or there. He actually, is at least present. Because I think that the fact that he was Shao Kahn's general, they kind of need to use that a little bit, because he wasn't just his general for a short time. He was there for a long ass time. It was a pretty major part of his conquest. So,
in this timeline, he was the general the entire time throughout Shao Kahn's death.
Yeah. So you would think that he would have at least a semi-prevalent role in the story, and at least warrant being there. No, I mean like on screen. I mean on screen though.
The Reiko Accords.
Yeah. But, I mean, him actually be there. It's okay to name drop him, but he needs to be there, you know what I mean? Like, actually see his fucking face on the screen.
Dude, I want to say that 3 more times. I want to say that about a good 5 more times, because that's how many times I say in the game, plus the comics, so yeah.
All right,
keep saying the Reiko Accord.
All right, we'll just go ahead.
Yeah, 4 more times.
That's the name of the episode, the Reiko Accords at this point.
No. Yeah, I was. I know we're not supposed to talk about this, but MKX being pretty much MK4, I was looking forward to seeing Reiko, Fujin, and maybe Kai. Not so much Jarek, because why? But I was looking forward to seeing Reiko. Honestly, that was my person I wanted the most. I think Katana.
He was definitely up there for me as well. I think it was Fujin and pretty much Reiko. Those are the two guys that I was looking forward to the most. Like seeing what they could actually do with them, giving them an actual opportunity with a game with a good budget. And I was hoping they could
So,
make them shine a little bit.
like, if I'm talking just MK4 characters, it was Fujin, Reiko, and Tanya.
Yeah, you see, I've never really been a fan of Tanya. I don't know what it is. I've just never really particularly cared about her. Like I never even used her in MKX, not a single time. So I mean,
I'm gonna
but
be honest.
go ahead.
I have a huge bias to anyone from Medina. If you're from Medina, I'm like, all right, bet. I'm gonna play you now.
Huh?
Okay.
I never would have guessed.
I mean, like I said, that's my life. Like right at the bottom, like let's just throw in these other names too. Everyone who was born in August, that was who I wanted the game too. And hell, even if we do get Dagon too, I realized that I can set up Armageddon for this timeline.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
keep in mind, he did. Well, here's my thing. And this is one thing I never understood about Armageddon. When we first start the game and you get to play Taven, Dagon's still asleep. So you're telling me this guy got out his tomb, started a whole army, worked with Shinnok, worked with Quan Chi, and then went back and said, "My brother's gonna get out of here soon. I want to repair that," and no one else knew this.
that my friend is what we call a plot hole. And the Mortal Kombat universe has many of them. If there's one thing that isn't lacking in Mortal Kombat, it's plot holes, especially over the past since 2011 more or less.
More like
2005.
2004.
Yeah,
That's Deception.
pretty much.
Ever since they decided to start making cinematics, yes.
Which technically should make them better, make the games more enjoyable. But somehow they managed to the cinematics make things more.
I mean, I
difficult
still
for them
enjoy
to
it
write.
regardless.
Of course, it's great to see the characters with the voices and seeing them, not just through text, but you would
time
think
goes on and
yeah,
you get more depressed.
yeah, exactly. There's game after game, the mental breakdown continues more ferociously each time. So hopefully this one will be a bit different. And that kind of leads us to the next topic, which is the gameplay reveals that Ed Boon has kind of teased. And as we were mentioning off air, you wanted to talk about the alleged weapon system that a lot of people are thinking are going to be in the game. So I'll go ahead and let you talk about that and kind of cover what you expect to see from an alleged weapon system.
Yeah. My thing is simply, I don't know what's going to happen. We don't know until Thursday. That is obviously been on lock and key the entire time. That being said, I'm not so content on this weapon system because, first of all, I get if it is a weapon system and if it is gear, I see exactly what they're doing. So on Injustice 2, you had their headpiece, your chest piece, the arms, and the legs, and their accessory. So the weapons are obviously their accessories. That's total sense. My thing is, every person that has been revealed so far has weapons. Like those are iconic weapons. And you can say, no, Raiden didn't always have a staff. Like, first of all, he did. But it goes back to even before they made weapons in the video games. The TV shows he had a staff. So that's nothing new. Take that also with Scorpion. He's always have swords. Shao Kahn. I don't know, but if you guys realize this, but he's typically known for his hammer.
What?
That might be a shock. Yeah?
For real? The fucking hammer throw move is like the most spammy shit of all time. So if you haven't noticed that, then something's wrong with you. But carry on.
See, like nothing against it. I would love a weapon system, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out when we get to that point.
Yeah, if it happens, then we'll talk about it. If not, then I'm not even gonna Ah,
Not gonna fight it.
yeah.
Just in the
Let it
words
be.
of Damien. You watch Friday After Next?
Sorry, what?
You ever watch Friday After Next?
What's Friday after next?
It's a movie for a different topic for a different time.
Oh, okay,
But
okay, my bad.
but
My bad.
there's a quote in this movie. I'll tell you about it off air too one day, one
Okay.
after this is all over. But there's this character, his name is Damon, and he said, "Don't fight, just let it happen." I'm going to let your mind go off on that and let you explain it later. But that's pretty much what I want to do with this weapon system. There is one. I'm not going to fight him. I'm just going to okay, just let it happen.
Just let it flow, see what happens, essentially.
Yeah, but I'm. But that's the thing too. But we have nothing confirming until we get a character that doesn't typically have a weapon. So like you throw Katana in there, it's like, well, yeah, she has fans.
Yeah, you
You
put
throw
him.
Sub-Zero in there.
Yeah.
He typically has anything that's made out of ice. I made a list on Discord about that. Like Scorpion has swords. Chakan has a hammer. Um, Raiden has his staff. Katana has fence. Sub-Zero has anything made out of ice.
Well, I
He
mean,
can literally make,
oh, sorry
the
to
motherfucker has
interrupt.
a chair.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Finish it out, and I'll say something.
The motherfucker has a chair made out of ice. I'm pretty sure he can make any weapon he chooses.
Pretty much. No, I was gonna say is I think that among the characters that we have a chance of seeing that don't technically have like this iconic weapon, and I might be wrong about this, correct? As you said, Liu Kang, you said that off air. Liu Kang, he technically has his nunchucks and deception, but that's not really something that you attribute to him, throughout the original games as well. But another guy is
Yeah,
Shang Tsung. Like, I don't recall him ever having an iconic weapon. So if we see Liu Kang and Shang Tsung with weapons, then that's a pretty. I'm not gonna say it's like a guarantee there's gonna be a weapon system, but at that point, then I'll really start contemplating the idea. But as of right now, the three characters we've seen, they all have weapons. So
iconic weapons.
yeah, iconic weapons that are really part of who they are. Because listen, in MK1, they didn't. If I'm not mistaken, in MK1, nobody used weapons in their animations, but that's just because it was extremely low budget. It was three guys in essentially a basement making a game, so it wasn't really like well, not in a basement. That was just me exaggerating, but they didn't add weapons stuff like that. But in MK2, was it MK2 or MK3 that Scorpion started using his swords?
Three, he had like
Three,
a
right?
axe at first.
Yeah, an
Yeah,
axe. Yeah, and then in MK2, of course, Katana had her fans. Melina had her
Melina
size.
side.
So,
Jade had
her staff. Yeah.
her cheap motherfucking everything.
But if you go back to say MK2 and MK3, and they had weapons back then that means that they are pretty much iconic weapons that are completely related to their characters. So it's not really surprising to see any of those guys have them. So like let's not get carried away. There might be a weapon system, but there also might not be. They could just be aesthetic
True.
things that are there that they use in combos, like that we've seen over the past two games. Scorpion had swords in MK and MK9.
MKX.
Yeah, and MKX was there
And
a weapon
nine.
system. Yeah, and 9 as well.
Nope.
Yeah, he used to use his swords. He had the little combo where he would rip out his swords from his back, and he would, hit you from above, and then you would bounce off the ground. It was literally a juggle
Yeah.
combo. So he's always had these weapons. It doesn't necessarily mean. I think they even had him in MK versus DC. Now that I think about it, so it's just kind of part of who they are. They can put them into combos and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be a weapon system. So let's not get carried away. If there is one, we'll talk about it. But as of right now, there's really nothing to it.
Another thing too, I'll say this. The only thing I can see that somebody pointed something. I think it was Uncaged Gaming, but he pointed out that in Scorpion's hand, it's not even his sword; it's his kunai. And I can now, with that being said, it does introduce the idea of a weapon system to me, and this is why. I know it's in the picture to you too, but and you can post this on later on after the show. But There's literally a picture where he is not using the spear to make somebody makes Rain get over here. He's literally using it as a whip almost.
Yes.
So that right there, that introduced an idea of a weapon system, a unique one at least.
Well,
Or
I
you can just be
mean,
like, or that you can use these moves, like you can use a weapon more in this variation, I guess. I don't know.
well, here's the thing. Kunai, that's technically the way you use them. You use them to cut people. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, just me looking at that, I don't necessarily see that and think, oh, look, this is a gear system. It's a weapon system. I see that as they know that they've never really used the kunai in the quote unquote correct way. So why not add it as one of his special moves? Maybe to give him something that we haven't seen him use before. Kind of take what they did with Takeda having the whips and stuff like that, and kind of adding that
Yeah.
implementing that kind of into Scorpion, giving him something that looks a little bit different, but is technically still something that's been a classic Scorpion, because he's using the kunai. So I don't necessarily think that really points towards a weapon system. I think it's just kind of, a special move.
A nod to
Yeah,
that's what I
and
thought too.
it might be. It might be. We don't like. If I think that if there was to be like a weapon system, as you mentioned, it wouldn't necessarily be like a specific like it used to be in the old game in the 3D era where you would push whatever left bumper or whatever it was L1 and you would switch over to your main style, your secondary style, or your weapon style. I don't think it's gonna be like that, but it might be to where like in Injustice you could select your accessory. Maybe there you can select I want to use swords, I want to use the kunai, I want to use whatever the axe maybe for Scorpion just to make another alternative. And based on that,
Or for Shao Kahn, I want to use the
yeah,
hammer or the other hammer
the
or
arrow. He has that arrow thing that he throws. Everyone's the spear. Sorry.
the
So
javelin, yeah.
yeah. So
Or this or the other one, a hammer.
always go with the hammer. But regardless, like that could be what it is. Maybe it's not really a weapon system. It's literally just you choose a weapon. But at the same time, like they would have to make up a weapon for Shang Tsung, which of course they did in Deception and Armageddon, which we all know that those were fucking bullshit because half the characters have the same thing. But I just don't really see that being something that they're going to want to do. But Ed Boon does like to introduce new things in each game, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it. I also would not be surprised to not see it, and I'm not particularly excited about it. I'll cover that more. We'll cover that more if they do indeed
Thursday.
announce that there's going to be something like a weapon system. But for me personally, I'm not interested in it at all. Like I don't really care about weapon systems. I don't really care about alternate, styles mid fight. That just doesn't really appeal to me.
Yeah, I don't care either way. I don't, if there is, I'll make it work, and if it gets me more damage and doesn't slow me down like the original one did in the 3 era, man, I'll take that chance. Besides, the only thing I want to do really is to be Shao Kahn, because for those who don't know, I've pre-ordered the game finally. I didn't pay for the whole thing because, well, bills, but I put $5 down, got my codes, and put my DLC stuff in. So all I want is to put on, I don't care if it's easy, hard, very hard, anything, but pick Shao Kahn and just throw that hammer at him the entire time. Like, look what you made me do. Look what the fuck you made me do.
That's just, I mean, listen. I'm assuming we're eventually going to play against each other, and you're going to be using Shao Kahn. I'm going to be using Shao Kahn. It's going to be the battle of the hammers. It's going to happen.
Boom.
My question is, if we both throw the hammer at the same time, whose hammer goes through, or do they even? I don't know.
They cancel it out. That's
Yeah,
gonna
right?
be fun. We're gonna record that, but I think it'll be our first thing after we get the game. Like, all right, you go grab Shao Kahn. I go grab Shao Kahn. I know it's 5 a.m. over here, and you're just gonna get off and you're going to go to work. But grab your Shao Kahn and throw your hammer right now.
Let's fucking throw that shit. We have to know. The
It's
people
a
need to know.
Yes, they need to know these things. We're over here going through some BS in this country, and we're worried about who hammer's gonna cancel out.
Yeah, I don't care about
If it
Trump.
does.
I don't care about any of that shit. All I want to know is do the hammers fucking cancel out. That's all I need to know. My life will be complete once I know that.
Yeah. the real questions of life.
The real interesting
No,
things here.
being what weapon system, no, or well, first of all, I want you to tell people. I'm not gonna say anything yet, but I want you to tell them what I sent you this morning. Well, the first thing I saw this morning.
Huh, let me see. Hold on. I don't remember. I have shit memory, so this is backfiring. Hold on. Let me go ahead and.
I'm sorry, but I just thought about that because while we're on the topic of weapon systems, I want to introduce of how easy and
Oh,
how
the
much
Melina.
sense this makes for us.
Melina,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Thomas sent
So
me a picture this morning of, it was a screenshot if I'm not mistaken, of somebody who made, what was like a 5 minute video? Something like that?
probably.
Like, a 5 to 10 minute video, the usual, about a fake render of Melina, which was the identical costume she had in MK9. And some dumbass, no offense to the guy, but you are a dumbass, made a video about that. So,
And the thing is, too, I think if not going to just rip in the shreds yet, but if I was not, first of all, if I didn't just play the game the other day, and I have been playing it for a little bit lately, and I wasn't obsessed with my identity it so much, maybe it might have just flown underneath the radar, and I would have just like, huh, that's pretty cool. I'm not. Okay, I'm a little pissed at the guy who made the video because why? But I'm more pissed at the guy who made the leak,
of
who made
course.
this fake leak. Well,
Of
not really.
course.
I'm not mad at him for making the leak. I'm mad for not putting effort into it. At least the other leaks we had, he put effort into it. He made a whole list of stuff that makes sense. Did his research. Even back in the past, people were leaking stuff about. I was talking to people in the Discord, and he was talking. I sent them say, why did I start my morning off like this?" And they said, "Well, this has been going on since I want to say early MKX days." And like I was saying, how this picture of Eric was going around forever, and I'm not sure what it looked like, but it's like they put effort into their stuff. This person literally copied and like they took two images, and they took the image of what they've been showing Shao Kahn's Raiden and Scorpion on their little gear part, remove whoever they took, copy and paste Melina from MK9, shaded the dark part around, and made it seem like that. Like, oh, if she has weapons, she has size in her hand, so you know that means it's a weapon system. I'm like, literally looked at that. I'm like, this is fake as shit.
Yeah.
This is super fake. They didn't even try. Man, if you're gonna lie, I want you to put some effort into that lie.
Yeah, unfortunately, half the time these people they put out these bullshit leaks and they don't even actually try to make them seem believable. But somebody and like, listen, I probably shouldn't have called the guy a dumbass because who knows, it might actually turn out to be real and I'm the dumbass. But at the same time,
No, no, it's fake.
yeah,
It's
just
fake. Well,
but why do you got to give these things the light of day? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
well, here's the thing too. Let's say that we have gear now, so we can remake all the old costumes now. Fingers crossed. That being said, other than the fact that because you didn't put two and two together at first when I sent it to you, you were like, well, I guess we're going back to the pretty much porn stars of Mortal Kombat now, and that's the thing too. At first, I was like, I can kind of see going back to that. Well, not going back to that, but making gear for that. But compare the graphics from MK9 to MK11 from just what we've seen so far. Not even the cinematic trailer. Like, no, even the cinematic trailer looks 10 times better than MK9 does. So that's it's 2019 now. That is a 8-year gap. Or no, not 8 years, 9-year gap between
9 years,
those
yes.
games. Yeah, because the trailer came out in 2010, and it's 2019. And you're going to tell me that that they got so lazy about making keeping this new game under wraps and working their asses off that we're just gonna take a costume from a serious person from Alina from and posting that. I don't know. It's, I honestly think if it might have been almost any other character, or if I wasn't playing more Kombat 9 recently, I wouldn't have picked up on it.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, man, it's just unfortunate that people do these leaks and that people, I don't know whether it's because they want that costume to be in the game or maybe it's because they know it's easy views. But people insist on giving these bullshit leaks the light of day. Like I wouldn't mind if somebody said, listen, this is fan art. This is, I took an image from MK9 and I made it look a lot better, and that's fine. But don't put it out there and say it's a leaked render from MK or it's a leaked screenshot or something like that. Don't even just mess with our intelligence. It's just not right. But at the end of the day, people are gonna keep doing this.
And just to play devil's advocate, let's say that what it was that they weren't trying to make it a leak. Now, this was literally just fan art. Somebody said that would be pretty cool to have in this game. Because who knows? Could have just been we talked about it before, but it could have just been some 13-year-old that's like, I want Melina like this again. I don't like her with all the armor and clothes on.
Yeah, it could just be Diego from 2011.
But no, at the same time, though, I'm like, that could have been, and then this YouTuber. Because we know we have a YouTube problem, which we're not going to give the light of day this time, because we already did that. But my thing is that people could take that like, well, and who knows? They could be the YouTubers making these leaks, by the way, too.
Could be, dude.
I never even took account of that to boost ratings for their channel. Not only do you have to say something that says leaked, but also you look like the smart guy by saying this is fake.
That, and you technically have the scoop. If you create it yourself, then of course you're the first one to be talking about it, which means there's going to be a ton of people that will be reporting on what you just quote unquote leaked, and so you're going to kind of become a big deal, at least for that specific topic, for a certain amount of time. So there's definitely a lot of pros to doing these fake leaks. It's technically in your best interest if you're not really there for the integrity of the
game.
Yeah, the game, the company. If you don't really care about that, you're just kind of there to make as much money as you can and get as many views. Then yeah, by all means, continue to report on bullshit and maybe even make up your own bullshit. Unfortunately it's just the way the game works. It's not really about who has the best not the best intelligence, excuse me, who has the best information, who has the truest information. It's kind of just who puts it out there the fastest, it's whoever does it first and whoever does it in a more entertaining way. And it doesn't matter if it's real or not, as long as people watch. Who gives a shit at this point? Like, that's not going to be how we are. We don't really care. Like, of course we would love to have views and we would love to maybe make this and monetize it eventually, but that's not really what this is about. This is just two guys that are talking about Mortal Kombat because it's one of our passions, and for you, it's based on what I've known. Like, aside from, I don't know, Katana, like Mortal Kombat in general is literally your number one thing in life. So, I mean, like, this is what we love. This is what we love. So we're gonna be doing this for the love of the game, not just to make money. This isn't we don't care about the money. We do, of course, but it's not our main thing. I mean, I went on a rant there.
Well, oh no, that was a rightful rant. And when you said that, it just reminded me. I wrote up our mission statement. We are just two guys in our 20s who love Mortal Kombat. That is it. Two guys in our 20s just love talk about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, call us what you want.
There's serious things in the world that's going. Well, there's serious things in the world that's going on, but like world hunger, my president might get impeached, all this stuff. But I'm gonna spend my day talking about Mortal Kombat instead.
Well, let's just put it this way: we can either talk about the frustrating things in the world, the things that aren't enjoyable, or we can just sit here and talk about Mortal Kombat. What would you prefer, to be depressed or to enjoy a conversation about something we love? It's pretty simple to really choose, in my opinion.
You're right. I think we should talk about Shao Kahn's hammer again.
Well played. That leads me, I guess, a weird segue, but one that I'm going to use regardless, into the story reveal. Like, Ed Boon teased it. There's going to be something story related at this reveal, but what do you expect? Like, how much do you expect to know after this event's over? About the story, of course.
So I'm doing two things. I'm thinking about that because I'm trying to figure out what I really want. The other thing, the problem with MK is that we always the story trailers are always misleading to me. But no, Injustice, I generally understood what I was going to get, except from Society. That didn't make any sense to me. But Mortal Kombat X, the story trailer they made threw me for loops and curves and pissed me off now. But that when it was all over and done. Cause I'll still play it, as we all know, but it will throw me through. If the trailer throws me for a loop, I kind of want to just go down to LA. Well, we already ended this stuff before, but it's real. I want to go to Chicago and just start breaking shit in NetherRealm Studios. Take a baseball bat and just start swinging. Just
start smashing.
I might get. I'm not sure how far I'm going to make it, but my goal for the first time is to make it to the Goro statue and just break it.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
The little original thing they have, the stop motion one. Yeah, that's my first goal. That's my first checkpoint. Then after I go to jail and serve my time, hopefully by then another more Kombat will be coming out. I watch the trailer, play the game, and then realize it's the same. My next goal is Shao Kahn's armor, or the Goku. Man, like, why do I keep saying Goku? The Goro from the movie. That's my next checkpoint. Keep making it to, I'll make it to the big boss with the bushy eyebrows.
Ed Boon, I challenge you to a fight. And that's a reference to one of the worst movies of all time. If you don't know what it is, watch the reboot of Kickboxer. It's atrocious, but you will see that moment and you will laugh your ass off. I'll leave the link in the description down below just for that particular scene because it's really worth watching.
No, even if he's figured out that I'm still alive somehow, even through all this struggle, like, Thomas, you're alive. Too bad you will die. And if you're more Kombat, like, you know exactly where that's from.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because the eyebrows, they have a life of their own and they have their own set of skills. So you might actually be murdered via eyebrows. It's not a good place to be in.
We'll see.
We shall see.
I'm gonna bring my razor and shower cream. But no, back to a serious note though. What I think we're gonna see is just a bunch of scenes. So looking at the league, because it is the thing we want to talk about too, because apparently the box cover is confirmed from that league. That's not the league that pissed us off and we didn't want to talk about. It's the one that was just an email. It didn't have a roster or anything. It just had little hints of things. So if it is what it is, then we're going to get a pre-log trailer. I'm not sure what that is. So what is that? What's a pre-log trailer?
A pre-log trailer is essentially, it's just kind of anticipating what's going to happen. It's really nothing major. It's basically a prologue. Okay. It was probably a misspelling. It's probably a prologue. So they're just going to say, blah, 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 this is what happens leading into the story, and then they'll probably do a little quick glimpse of what's going to happen, like just a very quick cut to something major about to happen that's going to kick off a story. So I don't really expect much in terms of like story reveal, like of the actual game itself. I'm just expecting, like you said, a prologue. So just something that's gonna, I don't know, like a minute, maybe minute and a half at most. Just maybe having
You know
like
how many
Raiden
people are gonna get
talking.
pissed off with that minute?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that, you know how much damage you're gonna do with that 1 minute alone?
We do not need them doing more than a minute though. Let's just
But
there's
no,
already, like you said, there's plenty of room to fuck up in a minute. Imagine like 5 minutes.
no, not even that. Not even like the fuck up. Just like you know how many YouTubers gonna make about 20
Uh,
videos about that minute
yeah,
alone?
yeah, yeah,
They're going to first they're going to do the reaction video, then they're going to do the original video by itself without their face in it, and then they're going to slow it down to show things that we didn't see, and
yeah.
then they're going to have their opinions off this scene, that scene, and what they know from the old games, which isn't much shit.
There's all the random bullshit that they can do. Anything that they
The
can
thing,
to
I'm
make
not,
things go forward.
but the problem, and then we've seen pre-log trailers, and I'm okay with that. Hell, I think Injustice is they're better when they get like in 5 different parts. And you get to pretty much put the pieces by together. Because I watch trailers, even though I shouldn't because it spoils everything for me still. I watch them still, and I was playing my best friend was playing Injustice 2 the story mode the first night we beat it, like that first night at 3 a.m. I had to work at 10, so priorities, yes.
Priorities. It is what it is.
I left work early just to go pick up this game, so I can get the jersey. I didn't get the jersey, so yeah, I'm gonna stay up in 3 o'clock in the morning to play this game. Man. Now, on a brighter note, though, but I knew certain scenes were gonna happen because I've seen the story mode thing because I like to watch story modes. I've seen the story mode pre-log trailers multiple times. Now, with all that being said, MKX pissed me off the most when it comes to pre-log trailer. And it's because that was so misleading. The last two trailers they did pissed me off the most. Story and then the last game trailer before they released the game. So you're watching this stuff from the story mode. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can get behind this. Malia's gonna be the main villain. I don't think so, but I can get behind that. And then we get it pretty much shows everything about the Outworld Civil War, but we get nothing of that in the story mode.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
and I already told you how I want Raiden to die. So that came from the other trailers, like how you see him with his eyes in red and he looks like he has to die. I'm like, okay, Raiden's finally gonna die. I'm okay with that. I'm at peace with that. I made peace before the game even got in my hands, buddy. So I'm like, okay, Raiden's gonna die. I'm okay with that. This fucker stays alive. More timelines to fuck up, more damage to cause.
That is the life of the Raiden.
Like, he's just as bad as the Flash with fucking up timelines.
That's actually a pretty decent comparison. I never thought of it that way, but
I know, right?
It's a pretty decent
And
comparison.
And guess what? They both throw lightning too, so maybe Barry Allen is really Raiden.
Huh. That's an interesting theory. That is a very interesting. It's like, what if on regular Earth or whatever, superheroes developed on some kind of alternate dimension, instead of the DC heroes becoming Batman, all that shit, they became Scorpion, Raiden. It's a theory. You might have something there.
The real questions of life.
You could probably do like at least 20 videos on YouTube that are gonna have 1 million views each, theorizing all this shit. You might not get a lot of likes. There'll be a lot of Superman fans pissed, but it's something you could at least do to make some money.
Yeah.
All right. So,
But no.
do you have
Yeah.
any
What about you?
final thoughts? Like, my thoughts on the story is, like I said, I think there's only going to be a prologue. I don't think there's going to be anything particularly crazy. I think it's just going to be a 1 to maybe at most 3 minutes clip kind of showing the build up to whatever the events are happening. Maybe giving us kind of an insight on who the lady was that they showed with the hourglass, kind of giving us an idea of who exactly she is, showing her past a little bit, and then towards the end for like 20 at most 30 seconds, if it is like more than 3 minutes, then showing the big event that's about to happen to where the fights start breaking out. I think that's kind of what we can expect, and I might be completely wrong because who the fuck knows, but that's kind of what I'm expecting. Yeah.
I would kill to know some stuff. Literally, yeah. I have almost started a murder spree here in my town.
So
not yet, because I want to go to jail before Mortal Kombat comes out. But I've thought about it.
How about this? December 2019, you can go to jail. Before that, we need you to talk about Mortal Kombat. We need you to stream if we can get all that stuff set up. I might be doing some streaming myself. If I need to check it out, test it, and see if my internet can hold up. But regardless, okay. I think that if you can hold out towards December, we're gonna have some stuff built up on this on this podcast. So definitely look forward to that.
Yeah. Last thoughts, I guess. So we know what we want. That's what we said. We already meant what we want. But what do we think we're actually going to get from these things?
It's hard to say because we have literally no idea what we're going to get. It could be anything. It could literally be anything. It could be characters that nobody gives a shit about. It could be the Kombat kids.
Darius.
All announced. Dude, stop. All right. Don't you fucking dare get me pissed off. I've been having a pretty decent day. Don't get me pissed off.
Just so everyone knows, we've been trying to come up with stuff for us both equally agree on for this channel. And we're still trying to get everything made up. But I texted him this past week and I said, hey, our password is going to be Darius is the best. He flipped out and said, no. Fuck no, pretty much.
Yeah, that's just not gonna happen. I mean, if you want, you can do it, but that officially means that the One Realm is done. It is literally over if you have the audacity to make Darius the best our password. Anything that involves Darius is not going to be allowed unless you put in like Darius is a cunt or something like that. Darius is dog shit. I don't know. We just got to go after him somehow. If
pretty much, if you ever see YouTube, Twitter, Instagram with Darius on it, I did that.
Well, good to know. Good to know where your loyalties lie. To Darius and not to your co-host.
I don't care about Darius, but I like to fuck with people.
Oh, okay. That's slightly less annoying. Slightly less annoying. So I'll go ahead and tolerate that. So why don't you go ahead and give us some final thoughts, and then I'll give mine, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this bad boy up.
All right. Final thoughts. I'm gonna hold off. I'm still trying to think, but I guess I picked one thing from each category we talked about. I want to have more an idea on this weapon system if we're getting it, and I just want to see the gameplay. Really, I don't as much as story and the roster just sells it for me. I need to know exactly. I need to at least imagine how I'm going to play, so I can fuck that up. Well, here's the thing. You can see these combos all the time on trailers, like saying, "Oh, I can do that combo. Can't wait." And you try, it's like, no, I can't do that. That's hard. But no, so I want to see the gameplay so I can actually envision how I'm going to play, because I actually want to get that game for once. I don't want to just button smash and special move my way through everything. I want to get good for once. I mean, I talked to my best friend about training me on how to actually do combo string. And how to make them, because it's not as easy as I thought.
It's definitely not. I was actually playing because I was on the Nethercast Discord. They recommended that I play Killer Instinct on the Xbox One version, and they recommended that I play that to learn how to do combos, because there's a great tutorial in it that I almost finished, but I ended up having to travel over to the U.S. and wasn't able to keep on doing it by the time I got back. Yeah, by the time I got back, I forgot everything, so I didn't really feel like it. But there's a great tutorial on it that kind of teaches you all the important things about fighting games, whether it's, kicking off combos, how to juggle, how to do things the right way though, like not just randomly, but actually do things the right way. They teach you all about footsies, about getting in and out, all that stuff. It's all explained in that tutorial. So if anybody wants to really learn about fighting games, I recommend doing that because it really helped me out a lot. And I'm pretty shit at these games, so if I can do that, then imagine what somebody who's not stupid could do.
I mean, I'm literally, guys, I'm looking it up right now on my Xbox One, trying to see how much it is.
It was extremely cheap
And
recently.
it's free. Yes,
Yeah,
it's free.
it's free. It is free. If you want to get all the characters and that's it's basically DLC. But I think the
Don't
way
care
it
about
works,
that.
yeah, I
Just
think
want
the
to
way it
play.
works, it's free, but you only have one character. Um,
Uh,
yeah, you only have one character, and you can buy each character, or you can buy the packs. But I think the tutorial is going to be in there regardless. So if you just care about learning this game, learning how to really play fighting games, then you can just use Jago, and you can just learn how to play actual fighting game.
yeah. So that's thinking. I want to actually get better so I can play for one,
So
and
we can
not
actually
just be.
not get tortured online.
Really, I know people. Really, I want people to watch us play, but if people, all I'm going to do is just throw sides and fans and roll, and maybe like occasional teleport. I'm pretty sure people's going to say, "All right, I'm not playing this game. I'm not watching this guy no more."
Yeah, he's trash.
Just a
That's
theory,
just not
but
really
so that's
worth
why I
it.
want to actually get good for him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I guess all I really have to say is like my final thoughts on it is I definitely want to see the characters I want to see. Some not just Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, I don't know, just the Johnny
You can
Cage,
say it.
Sonya. Don't fucking say
Go
it.
ahead and say it.
I'm not gonna say it. No, it's not worth it. No.
Say it. It's okay. I understand.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. That's all that matters. I don't want to see any of these characters that are either
I know.
trash trash or that are guaranteed to be in there anyway. I want to see a mix of characters that we expect, like maybe Noob Saibot, but also some out of nowhere characters like Reiko and Havoc, etc. Maybe even show Fujin or Rain. Give some
Well,
some
let me
trust.
see. I'll say I can say like all the roster predictions and ideal rosters. The best one I saw was from Nethercast a couple of weeks ago. Well, I think it was last week, but that's just being the fact that it had a little bit of everything in there, and he said that too. I'm like, that is a pretty badass roster, plus 4 new characters.
Yeah, I want to see variety between old characters, somewhat newish characters, and some of the ones from the 3D era that are cool, like Havoc, etc., Hotaru, I guess. Kind of mix it in, give
Reiko.
us, but maybe like show a couple
Yes.
characters. I'm just gonna act like that never happened. Anyway, maybe have a couple characters from the original trilogy, or MK1 to MK4. Maybe have that, show some of those characters, a couple of those from the 3D era. Maybe show a couple of those, and then from the newer ones, I guess the Combat Kids or something like that. Show a couple of them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that at all. So my final thoughts, I guess, are I want to see interesting characters, not just the ones that we already know they're going to be in there, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, etc. I don't want to see trash characters. I want to see gameplay. Like you said, I want to know what I'm getting into. I want to know what I'm about to play. I want to know what it looks like. If it's going to be a very, I'll just leave explanations to the Nethercast guys because that's what they're good at. But I want to see what kind of a fighting game we're going to be playing. Is it going to be 50-50 heavy? Is it going to be classic Mortal Kombat? It's just kind of, we got to kind of know what exactly we're getting ourselves into, and I just want to see a decent prologue for the story that's going to kind of show us what exactly is going to happen leading into it, to really kind of get us excited, but also just give us a thought of what's going to happen, give us an idea of why things are going to be happening and who exactly that lady is with the hourglass. That's pretty much all I need to see, and that's kind of what I'm expecting to see.
Yeah, I think that cause you're, right now, the first thing you said was characters, and the other thing I said was gameplay. So I think it's kind of interesting that we either don't really care, but we do care obviously about the story mode. That's our biggest thing. That's the thing we're gonna play first anyway. But it's fair to say that we know you can't get much from a prelogue trailer, So we might as well just think about the other two things we're going to see, and that's the gameplay and characters.
Yeah, exactly. Like, of course I want the story is the most important thing. Along, I would say on par with the roster for me with Mortal Kombat. But if we're looking at reveals, they're not going to reveal major plot lines, not going to reveal major twists. It's just not going to happen. So, of course, I'm excited to see what they're going to announce about the story, but it's less than the characters and gameplay. We're going to enjoy the story once it actually comes out.
Think about it like this, too. For when you play the story mode, you also have to, A, play the game, so you need to know gameplay.
Exactly.
Have a story without those two, story mode without those two aspects. So, even though it's the thing we want the most, we have to know the other two things first before we mess with that.
Yep, exactly. So, gameplay, characters, that's what we need to know the
But
most.
I do
The
have,
story comes later.
I do actually one last question, and it's a joke question, but it's serious at the same time.
Okay.
What if, and this is not, I'm not going to wait right now, so I'm going to put my microphone to this door. All right. What if we get Darius instead of Reiko, Fujin, and Havoc?
Honestly,
We're just end it there, guys.
that whole little theory. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. That whole little thing you said, how you're gonna go to Chicago and beat the hell out of the Goro statue and try to fight Ed Boon. I would do way worse than that. And I'm not gonna say exactly what, but if it happens, then just watch the news. Because NetherRealm Studios will get an ass whooping that not even Stone Cold Steve Austin himself could do. So I'm gonna leave that with a hell yeah.
All right, later, guys.
All right, sorry about the cheese. See you guys.